Got a story out of the greater New Orleans area. There was a freak accident that claimed the life of a young woman, 26 years old, while she was working on the job as a baggage handler at the New Orleans International Airport. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Click that notification bell for all updates. If you're watching from New Orleans, Metairie, Kenner, LaPlace, Reserve, let me know in the comments. Shout out to all of you. I definitely want to hear from you. We all know that industrial work can be extremely dangerous, and most fatal work accidents involve men, but there's a woman who found herself caught up in machinery at work and lost her life. That's 26-year-old Germany Thompson. Germany loved basketball, had medals and trophies on display at her mother's home in Reserve, Louisiana. She played basketball all through school at Riverside Academy and East St. John High School. Shout out to everyone who went to East St. John. And after graduating from high school, Germany, she went to Heston College in Kansas, where she played basketball while earning her 2-year degree before moving to Jackson, Mississippi, where she attended Tougaloo College. She played for their basketball team as well and received a bachelor's degree in sociology. Tougaloo College, by the way, is a historically Black college, 153 years old, and like a lot of schools that's been in the United States for a very long time, it was built by former slaves. But this one institution here, it wasn't just built by former slaves, but it was the former slaves who created this private school in Jackson, Mississippi. And I do want people to keep Jackson in your prayers because it's really a shame what's happening to the good folks down there in that city. It really is. But back to Germany. Germany's mother, Miss Angela Dorsey, says she was her only daughter, telling reporters, quote, "My daughter was a good child. She was a loving child. She was a child that made friends anywhere." Going on to say that Germany loved her family, pets, and her mama's cooking. Miss Dorsey says every day she would ask her mama, "What you cooking today?" And now her mom is wishing she could hear her daughter say those words once more. Like so many college students, Germany ended up finding work outside of her field as a baggage handler supervisor at the New Orleans airport. On the evening of Tuesday, August 30th, she was at work offloading luggage from a Frontier Airlines jet when her hair became entangled in a belt loader. She was then rushed to a hospital where she passed away from her injuries.
We start tonight with this tragic story out of Armstrong International Airport. An employee was killed late last night following an incident at work.
Her family says the incident has shaken the community and changed their lives forever. WDSU's Courtney Williams joins us now live from the airport with that story. Courtney.
Good evening, Gina. Sad story. The mother says she wished she never got the call that her daughter was gone, and she would do anything to hear her voice once again.
She said, "Mom, on my way to work." I said, "Okay, I'll see you when you get home."
But she never made it home. Germany Thompson always seemed to have a basketball in her hands.
She was a basketball girl. She loved basketball. That was her thing.
Word quickly began to spread Tuesday night that the 26-year-old had been killed in an industrial accident.
The doctor said that her hair got stuck in the Conveyer, and they tried to, they said they tried to cut her hair, but they couldn't. She died on her way to the hospital.
Thompson, who was employed through GAT Airline Ground Support, was unloading baggage from a Frontier Airlines flight at about 10:20 p.m. Minutes later, her mother received the call.
I just dropped the phone and was screaming and hollering.
Mike Hugh, the CEO of GAT, says Thompson's hair apparently became entangled in the machinery of the belt loader. Now, late in the day, we did reach out to GAT Airline Ground Support and OSHA to see what procedures were put in place for incidents like these ones. For example, were employees mandated to keep their hair a certain way, and how many times was the equipment scheduled to be checked? But we haven't yet heard a response. But for now, reporting from New Orleans International Airport, Courtney Williams, WDSU News.
One of her co-workers who wanted to remain anonymous, he said, "I can't get the image out of my head. People just can't stop crying about it. We worked long hours with her every day. It just doesn't seem real." Germany was a supervisor at GAT Airline Ground Support. They have a bunch of locations servicing airports in the United States and Canada. And they did have one rule about hair in their handbook. It says if the employee's hair is long, it must be pulled back. Now, it's unclear whether or not Germany's hair was loose or pulled back, But either way, maybe they need more strict rules on hair and safety to make sure that something like this doesn't happen to anybody else again. Hair is a very sensitive issue for a lot of Black women, and we always hear about the problems when jobs set standards telling Black women how to wear their hair. We all know this, but the weave was an issue here. It's just really sad that extensions basically contributed to her passing. The very long hair got caught up in the machine, so now I'm hoping that they establish some sort of safety code that will take things a bit further, maybe wear some sort of net to avoid people getting their hair caught up in the machines on these industrial jobs. This should have not happened to Germany, and I hope it never happens again to anybody else. But I also know people don't like restrictions. And if a more strict code was established, we'll probably see people protesting the hair requirements or covering their heads, and it may bring up some discrimination arguments. But this is a huge liability, really. Another thing that's very common for millennials and Gen Z, we see a lot of college graduates having a very hard time finding work in their fields. They complete all of the coursework only to have difficulty securing employment in their field once they graduate. This is how they end up doing a lot of general labor work or entry-level positions where college education is not generally required. It's been a growing issue in America for at least 15 years or so now, and the debt that comes along with that is always a hot-button issue. Now, honestly, I don't think women should be working industrial-style jobs. The hardest work, the most dangerous work, and the most skilled work was always performed by men and still is. Modern women have to get out of the mindset that they can do anything that men could do. Ladies, you don't have to prove that you can do what men do or prove that you're strong. Just be a woman and don't make life harder for yourself. Sending condolences to Germany's family and everyone from Reserve, mourning her loss. Reserve is a great place and really great people are out there. And my heart also goes out to her co-workers as well, who witnessed this traumatic incident. They're not feeling right. From my understanding, they are not okay. They witnessed this woman's life being taken away from getting stuck in that machine. Is really bad. So also keep our co-workers in mind as they try to heal from all of this. Special thank you to Paul. I appreciate you, Paul, for all of your support, as well as our sister Janetta, Dark Power, and T66. Thank you all for your support. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.